5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm Shannon O'Brien, and I have my friend Laurie Smith from AmaWaterways. She is going to talk to us tonight about the cruise that we're all signed up for on the Danube in October of 2022. She just completed a sailing at the end of August. And so she was on the ship, did the same exact itinerary, and even went to Prague. So she's going to share our experience and tell us what it's going to be like for us when we're there in October of next year.
Can't wait. Oh my goodness. I'm so jealous. I really want to go with you, Shannon. It was a beautiful trip and I absolutely loved it. And I happened to do the exact trip that you're doing on the Amalia and the Romantic Danube. So I'm Laurie Smith and I am with AmaWaterways. I am Shannon's support if she needs any help building a group, with anything. So I really want to take you through the itinerary. The goal tonight is really to take you through the itinerary, introduce you to Ama, who we are, and move from there. We do have a chat section. If you want to take yourself off of mute and just ask me a question, I don't mind stopping through the presentation. And like I said, Shannon, you can go ahead and ask me, or if I forget something that's really good and you remember it, please let me know. You can put your question in the chat section and we can get it at the end. So let's get started. And I want to introduce you to, we're family owned. These are our owners. Rudy Schreiner, we call him the godfather of cruising. He's from Vienna and he started quite a few other lines as well. So he has a lot of experience with river cruises, but the ships, we're known for our twin balcony ship, which you're actually going to be traveling on. The Amalia is a twin balcony ship, and we'll see what that looks like. And then his lovely wife, Christine Kars, she is the heart of the company, we call her. She's got a lot of sparkle and she's from Dresden. And then Jimmy Murphy, Gary Murphy, Shannon just got off of a cruise also with Gary. And that his father started the company 19 years ago with Christine and Rudy and had a vision. And so Gary took over the helm and he's got Irish roots, which has a lot in common with, I heard conversations with Shannon. So those are our three fearless leaders and owners of the company. Normally, sometimes you will see them on board when it's inaugural sailing, or if it's a christening, or if it's just one of the itineraries they want to do, they'll go surprise guests. So it's interesting. Sometimes I see passengers and they're like, oh my gosh, I was on board with Christine or Rudy or Gary. So it's nice that our owners are always on board, making sure everything is a-okay. And I really, post-COVID, we really need to talk about it. And Rudy is very open about and very transparent about our financial stability. All of our vessels are paid for. We have 25 vessels. We have 20 as of tomorrow, Friday. Yes, tomorrow we will have 20 vessels in the water. So 20 out of 25, not bad. Yes, we started July 3rd and we'll continue through until 2022. Hopefully some policies and, will change for 2022, not policies, but protocols, health protocols. We won't have to maybe wear a mask or, something like that. We'll see. Stay tuned. But these are our vessels. You're actually going to be traveling on the Amalia, and the Amalia is, I was telling Shannon, she's only 3 years old, but if you take out the year and a half that she didn't sail, we're taking years off her life. So she's beautiful, shiny, really beautiful. So I want you to really think about this next slide, because most of you probably have done an ocean cruise. So remember that oceans take you to countries, but rivers take you right through them. And when you look at this picture, this happens to be the Rhine, but this is Liechtenstein. And this is what it looks like along the river. I actually experienced, which you'll experience, the Vodka Valley. And I've not been on this itinerary at this time of year. In August, it was bright and green and lush. It was absolutely beautiful because it's before crush. So the time that you're going is right after crush. So you'll probably still have a lot of those fall colors coming in, which is absolutely stunning. We do have 4 seasons on the Rhine and the Danube, and sometimes in France, distinct seasons. And I particularly love the season that you're going in the fall. It's wonderful to be in Europe in the fall, and especially this itinerary. So let's talk about a little bit about why AmaWaterways and what is included in your trip. A lot of you, I know most of you are doing a pre and post, both, or maybe just a pre, have to do Prague, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a bit. And on this vessel, we're known for our signature twin balcony staterooms and suites. And I'll show you what that looks like when we get to that slide. But you will have up to 6 choices included excursions, and that includes our active biking and hiking tours. So a lot to choose from, and they're all complimentary. The only ones that are going to be extra are a couple of options in Vienna, which are Schönbrunn Palace and a concert that we take you to, but you don't have to do those. But it's well worth it, but there's no extra charge. And then beer and wine are included with meals, that mimosa in the morning, and you do have a variety of wines. It's not just one wine, you have a variety. And our wines are handpicked by our owners. So these are incredible wines, and especially on the Vodka Valley, we had some incredible wines, and they change, quite often. So you do have choices with that. We do have a sip and sail cocktail hour every afternoon. I'll talk a little bit about that, but that's a cocktail hour before dinner. So you can order anything. We have the drink of the day, but you don't have to order that. You can order a glass of wine or beer or cocktail. It's up to you. And then we can talk about our chef's table, which is included, and you'll see pictures of it. It's 24 passengers at a time that get to experience this wonderful meal. It is a 9-course pairing with wine, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a bit too. We do have Apple TVs in the staterooms, and these staterooms are absolutely beautiful, whether you decided on a fixed window or the suite. They start at 160 square feet and go all the way to 350 square feet. So beautiful appointed rooms, and very well organized to fit your luggage under the bed. You'll see in some of the pictures. And also our fabulous cruise managers that are on board. They will be with you pre and post stays. They stay with our passengers the entire time. So you'll get to know your first impression of AMA is going to be a cruise manager that will meet you. And believe me, they're incredible cruise managers. And then we do welcome solo travelers, and we do have our complimentary Wi-Fi. I can tell you, compared to some of our competitors, the Wi-Fi is fantastic. I was able to do work the entire time, and I think we spend more money on Wi-Fi than we do diesel. And then my AmaCruise app. Before the trip, we're going to give you a list of things you need to do, but you definitely need to download this app. And this app helps kind of keep you organized. You can click on it anytime and it shows you a daily. Instead of the dailies that we put in your room, you can still get those. But the app, you can upload photos and then send it to an email list that you have, maybe family and friends that you're trying to make jealous. You can certainly send pictures and postcards from the app. So download that app before you leave, and we'll talk a little bit about that after a while. But there's no motion sickness. Remember, we're on the river. You can see both sides of the river. And remember, the Romans navigated these rivers. So it's going to mean a lot when I say that, of the history and the culture along the rivers. So Romantic Danube, Wilshofen to Budapest, and it's a beautiful itinerary. Prague Extension, I know all of you are going to be doing the Prague Extension. It's fabulous. And then you do the long haul from Prague to Wilshofen, and we stop in Regensburg, and it's a wonderful, you can have beer at have sausage from the oldest sausage kitchen, and the town itself is incredible. So it's a full day before you even get to the vessel in Wilshofen, and then of course all the way down to Budapest, and then of course you're going to do an extension in Budapest. Highly recommend doing that also. So you're doing everything that you should be. This is the astrological clock that you see. This square is incredible. It's by the cathedral. The cathedral's beautiful. There's a lot of shops, eateries, and every town has its big market square. you've got a square here, you've got a square at Castle Hill that you're going to go to. I actually went to a monastery, an old monastery that's actually a brewery on Castle Hill and Strahov. And I'm going to give that name to Shannon because it's a wonderful place. It's a do not miss. It has the oldest collection of handwritten Bibles that were the monks hand wrote these and then color. Some are in color. And these were in private collections. They were actually written. Sometimes it took a monk's entire life to do it. So all of these manuscripts, it's a beautiful place, and the beer is fabulous. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm a beer snob. So I love beer and wine. But this is your vessel. You can see these twin balconies. You've got French and veranda, and we'll talk about that in just a bit, but that's the Amalia. It looks like she was decorated, starting to be decorated for Christmas markets. So, and that's what it looks like on the river. You've got both sides of the river. That's probably going on the Vodka Valley, and just a beautiful, beautiful way. So I'll take you on board. Come on board. And this is our main lobby area. We do have an elevator that goes from bottom to top, and not to the sun deck. You have to take stairs, and they're very shallow stairs, very easy to maneuver, because you want to be on that top deck. You're going to have 190-degree views, 380-degree views, and from, if you're scenic sailing or anything like that, it's going to be beautiful. And because we're going to feed you very, very well, you probably will want to start by taking the stairs. It's not hard. You're going to have to only take 1 or 2 flights of stairs. So you may want to get used to that. But this is where you'll meet normally for your excursions in the lobby. And then, of course, when we welcome you on board, the captain welcomes all the females with a rose, which that's one of our surprise and delights. And don't worry, gentlemen, we have a surprise for you also. And then there's a vase in your room, a vase in your room that you can put your rose in. So a nice little touch, a nice little touch. And then we get to our complimentary sip and sail cocktail hour every afternoon and evening before dinner. So I think my bar bill was $13. We were off board, or we went to the sip and sail. We had our fill of beer and wine. Most of the time we'd close down the restaurant at night, and then we'd go to the lounge for entertainment. So there was really no time to buy cocktails. So it is a wonderful added value for you because it's all complimentary. And then let's talk about the dining. All of our food is locally sourced and prepared. We don't freeze anything. All of our breads and pastries are baked on board. We can handle most dietary restrictions. Kosher is the only one because everything's in one kitchen that we cannot do. But if you're vegan or vegetarian, or if you have an allergy, we can certainly help you with that. And you just have to give Shannon your dietary needs. And believe me, the maitre d' will meet with you and go over menus of things you can and can't have. So the dining experiences are incredible, incredible on Ama. And then let's talk about the chef's table. I did this my last night. I kept it for the last night, and we had an 8-course pairing with wines. So imagine, they're small courses, they're tastings, but it's a wonderful experience, very intimate. We don't change the menu throughout the sailing, so the menu remains the same. So normally most guests will only dine there once, and you can make reservations on board. Everyone will be able to dine at that time, one time in the chef's table. Sometimes you can dine twice. Same menu though. And then of course, all of your meals you're going to have in the main restaurant. And it's so lovely because you have, a 5-course meal, you have desserts, and just a beautiful array of food. We do have a themed night. We have like 4 special nights: the gala night, we have the Le Chant de Rôtissière dinner night, which we're a member of a French gastronomy membership. And that meal is always incredible. It's chef's choice. And then we have a regional delicacy night. And then there's another night that is just considered the chef's suggestion night. So there's really every night is wonderful. But I encourage you, if you're in the destination, eat a meal in the destination and get the local flair. That's really what it's all about. We'll continue that regional flair by offering something on the menu. There's always a choice of a Western side, maybe a steak and potato or salmon with veggies. My husband actually tried all of the vegetarian meals and they were fantastic. I can't imagine how you can come up with the different vegetarian meals that are filling, satisfying. The food was incredible. The food was absolutely incredible, and especially the Shan dinner, which we're known for. And
I'm just going to jump in here on the dinner thing because I just got off just like you did. What I really appreciated was the portions weren't giant, and therefore I was able to share with other table mates other entrees because they weren't huge. And I really appreciated that because I'm the girl who wants everything on the menu. I want to just have everything as an appetizer size. So I really, really appreciated that. And I didn't feel like I was wasting anything.
Right.
And, you know, if you want, and you were right about the vegetarian. I was stunned how good the vegetarian was.
Our little Chef Freddie, unbelievable. My husband asked for him to say, and he's not a vegetarian. He's trying to eat less meat, but he's not a vegetarian. And he kept saying, you know, I'm going to eat healthy while I'm on this trip. And it was incredible. I couldn't believe the choices we had. So I would take a little bite and then he would take a little bite. So chef special for vegetarians. If you're vegetarian, you have nothing to worry about. You're not going to just eat salads, I promise. So this is on the Amalia. We have two private, we call them wine rooms, but they're also dining rooms, private rooms. They accommodate 10 people. So you can dine. Shannon may have a group of you every night if you wanted to. This has to be booked on board. And this is just the same menu, but you get to dine in this very intimate dining room together. So you can see the wine cabinet and a lot of great conversations, and you normally close the restaurant down when you're in this. So this is an option. We have two of these rooms available, and that's at the front of the vessel. So accommodates 10 each, but it's first come, first serve. And then of course, every night we'll bring entertainment on board from the destination, which we had some incredible entertainment. And it's different. It could be opera singers. It can be La Strada, which is our 3-piece. We had a dance troupe from Budapest that was incredible. And then of course we had Wilshofen, we had our German fest there. So a lot happens. We do have coffees and tea that is available 24/7 to you, and snacks. We have tapas in the lounge at night. We have afternoon tea. So there's always something, late risers breakfast, which I absolutely love. So there's always something for you to eat or dine or snack on. Trust me, you're not going to go hungry. And of course, enriching entertainment. We do have a massage and beauty salon. With a masseuse, you can get a mani and pedi, have your hair done. You can make reservations on board. And then we do have a fitness room. We do have a wellness host on board. So I did some of the digestive walks, which I truly, truly loved with Bianca. You can do champagne yoga in the morning. I normally show that picture, or you don't have to exercise at all. It's your vacation, you do not. But the digestive walks are interesting, and they allow you to just kind of walk off some of that food. So let's talk about the staterooms that you have a choice of. 160 square feet is going to be our window staterooms. And then I had a French balcony. I was able to open that French balcony from the middle all the way to the sides. It was incredible. The weather was cool and crisp. So I opened it one afternoon, had a beer on my own French balcony, and it was fantastic. And then this is the cat ribbon category. It's our twin balcony stateroom. So you've got a French balcony here, and then you have a full veranda that you can go outside and sit. It's a very nice cabin, and it's very well appointed. And then we go into our suites. Our suites are wonderful also. So triple occupancy, connecting rooms on this this particular vessel if you need. And then of course you can we offer solo rates also.
And I just want to jump in here for a minute, Laurie,
Yes.
because I toured all of the rooms on my ship when I sailed back in August. And so as you go up the letters in category, where you really pick up the space is in the bathroom. So you're from the small French balcony rooms, you will have a smaller type bathroom. The shower is still well appointed, but it's more of a half a shuttle. It's not a full shuttle, but it's a half a shuttle. When you get to those twin balconies, that's when you really get a regular full-size shower. And again, just more vanity space. So those were the big differences that I noticed. And the only way you're going to get two sinks, if you absolutely have to have two sinks, is in a suite. There was no two sinks anywhere else except in those suites.
Yes. But like Shannon said, the bathrooms are so well appointed.
Yeah.
The towels are in a certain spot. I had plenty vanity space in my French balcony, but the twin balconies, that's what we're known for. Those are the best appointed rooms, lots of space. It just works. It just works. So yes, you definitely want to go probably for the twin balcony stateroom. So let's start with the itinerary. And we started in Wrocław. Well, actually, we started in Prague. Our cruise manager met us in Prague at our hotel. And I'll give Shannon a couple of suggestions for a Michelin star restaurant that's really right across the street from the hotel. It could be right across the street from one of the hotels we use. And it's very easy walking distance. So I'll give her a couple of those restaurants that we ate in, which is incredible. So we took our full day, we call it the long haul, from Prague to Wilshofen to meet the vessel. And we stopped in Regensburg. And then that night we were treated to Oktoberfest. So you're going to be October 22nd is a little bit, you're going to still have the month of October, that is Oktoberfest, that's celebrated, but we have our own Oktoberfest that we give you, and it's incredible. We have beer and pretzels, we have our German entertainment, and it's just a fun night, and you can consume all the beer you would like, and it's just a wonderful way. And this is an exclusive what we have in Wrocław, the tent, the Oktoberfest tent, because we're trying to mimic Munich or any of the German towns for Oktoberfest. And then we sailed to Pasow. And of course, Pasow, the city of three rivers, walking tour, the Ill, the Inn, and the Danube. And of course, the Ill and the Inn are tributaries. So it's a beautiful St. Stephen's Cathedral. You have the Pasow castle hike or the River Inn bike tour. I took a bike. I did my city tour, then I took a bike into Pasow. There is a pilgrimage that you can go to, and it's just incredible. If you do the castle hike, you can walk or hike up the castle hike. It's a definite workout, but it's fantastic. Passow's that beautiful little quaint town that I absolutely love. Now, remember, we travel at night, to get from point A to B, and we want you to be in the destination as long as you can. So we travel at night. Then we get into Linz. And of course, we've got, you can choose Linz or a full day Salzburg, and that is all included. And that's the Sound of Music tour, but also Salzburg, which is the birthplace of Mozart. And you can visit Mozart's home, and the bakeries there are incredible, and the dining, the market square is beautiful, and Salzburg is absolutely incredible. So I would choose full day. Most of our passengers choose Salzburg, and it's included. On my competitor, you have to pay for that. So it's all included. And Linz is a very unique town. So if you stay back and want to just tour Linz, you're going to, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it's media arts walking tour or the cultural mall bike tour. And you have some choices there. Okay. You can see there. And that's just some more pictures of beautiful, beautiful Linz. Český Krumlov, you can head there also, and that's a choice. And then Salzburg, here's a picture of it at night. It's just incredible, incredible. And then we get to Scenic Cruising. So we're going to Scenic sail about 26 miles. You will go through 12 locks on this itinerary. But when we were Scenic Cruising, we're going in the Vodka Valley, and known for apricots and, of course, beautiful, fabulous wines. It was lush and green. I had not seen it this lush and green before. I've only seen it in fall. So it's definitely different seeing it at different times of the year. And you just Scenic cruise for, you know, a full afternoon. And Kata, our cruise manager, or your cruise manager, will be talking about the destinations, the castles, the old cities that you're going to be seeing along the way. She navigates and talks about the history. So you're getting a history lesson sitting there. We serve you little bites. We serve you apricot schnapps sometimes, or wine. It just depends. And we serve it to you. All you have to do is, most passengers are up on the top deck because you're looking at all the view, and it's just fabulous. You're just, it's an incredible way to see it. Then we get into Derstein. You can go into Derstein, which I highly recommend, and also Melk Abbey. There's so many things to do. You have up to 6 choices. I can't tell you. The apricot and sweet tasting was wonderful. We go in and off of Derstein. We do a wine tasting that evening after dinner. So there's always something going on. Incredible. And of course, you can see the vines in Derstein. The grapes were still very green because it's not crushed yet. Well, it was starting to turn a little bit, but you could see those vines just heavy with grapes. Incredible. Dernstein is incredible town, little quaint village, and of course you see the castle, the fortress where King Lionheart was kept in captivity. It was a good captivity. It wasn't a bad captivity, but until the English rescued him. And then Melk Abbey. This was incredible tour. I highly recommend you taking the Melk Abbey tour. Our guide was actually a student. She was 21, and she was in college, but she was a student at Melk Abbey, and they start in from pre-K all the way to 12. And the history of the Melk Abbey, it's beautiful interior. You'll learn about the history of the Melk Abbey. And it's just a beautiful tour. I can't talk enough about it. My pictures are incredible. And it's still a working abbey. You have the brothers that are still there. And then we get to Vienna, and I can't talk enough about Vienna. You have so many tours that you can take, and of course we overnight in Vienna, so you've got a lot of near Vienna. You've got a lot of time in Vienna. Imperial Vienna tour. You can attend a concert. We actually brought a troupe back on board to have an opera after dinner. So we had our own opera, which was incredible. And of course, the Vietnamese arts and culinary experiences. There's so many Mozart Strauss concerts to attend, just to people watch in Vienna, which I love to go sit in one of the cafes in one of the squares. And it's just a beautiful time. So as you can see, there's a lot to see and do. And then Bratislava, we have the Coronation City walking tour, and of course the castle hike, which is incredible. That is not just a hike. I mean, it's a very easy hike for you. You can do a faster pace hike, but it is a hike. And then we end in Budapest. And of course, Budapest is considered the Queen of the Danube. We go into the market. The market has everything from paprika, that's what you're going to want to purchase, and a lot of great souvenirs here. The market has food, it has souvenirs, You'll be able to just walk Budapest. Of course, you're going to be in Budapest. If you do the extension, you'll be in Budapest, of course, for your 3 nights, because you have Buda and Pest. So you have Buda, that the Danube runs right through it. It's a very easy walking city. You just need to make sure you know where your bridges are. You have the Elizabeth Bridge, which is normally where we dock, and you can just walk right off into city center. So it's very easy to get around Budapest. There's so much to see and do. I'm so glad that you're going to be spending some extra time there, because the dining is fantastic and very inexpensive. It's not expensive at all. It really is a very inexpensive destination. You'll love Budapest. There's so much to see.
Yeah,
So,
and I have a question here, Laurie, because
yes.
I sailed on the Rhine, and we started in Basel, Switzerland, ended in Amsterdam. I was really surprised, because I'm always like, oh, you'll get a night in Budapest. I was really surprised that the one night we were in Amsterdam really wasn't sufficient. And so I think I would have the same feeling about Budapest. And to eat, at least if you don't want to add on a whole, 3 nights at the end, you might want to add just 1 night in of doing a hotel, just to have a little bit more time. I know my brother-in-law has already talked to me about possibly doing a wine tasting and going to some of the baths. So we haven't finalized anything on the Budapest end. We are for sure. I think most of us are going and doing the Czech Republic. So we haven't finalized anything for Budapest yet, but that is definitely a conversation that I need to have with everyone, what they want to do at the end, because there will be some people who will want to stay on, and other people who want to do their own thing, and other people who are going home.
Absolutely. And definitely spend some time. That's what I'm saying. Spend some time. Shannon's telling you to spend some time also. There's so much to do, especially just doing the baths. If you do the baths in Budapest, that's going to take you really a half a day or even a full day, because it's a wonderful experience. You want to take advantage of it. And then you're going to want to dine by yourself, off board, because the food is incredible. And then of course, Hero Square, we're going to include all the the must-sees, but the walking through the Jewish quarter, I mean, that in itself can take you a day, and you can eat your way through that. But there's a lot to see and do, a lot of great shopping. If you hadn't shopped and you want to stop in Budapest and shop, you can certainly do that. So, Shannon, you can decide if they want to do it with Ama or outside of it, and maybe not do quite as many nights.
Right.
So let's see. So that's it. And then unfortunately, you have to come home. Unfortunately, you have to come home. So let me look at some of the chat. Sue asked, how strenuous are the bike tours? How long, how, hilly? Actually, the Danube is the best place to bike. We will have bike tours that are sometimes only 2 miles. Sometimes they're 5 miles, but it's easy biking. And really, we'll tell you, it's rather flat on the Danube. So not strenuous, but these are not e-bikes. These are really nice, sturdy bikes from Netherlands. There's a company in the Netherlands that makes these bikes that are incredible. So they're very sturdy, big tires. The seats are big. I like the seats because they're big and they're comfortable seats. So it's not, you can do a very strenuous bike ride, or you can just do a 3 or 2 mile, or even just take it your own and after your tour, and just take a bike on your own if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think the flat, because that was part of Sue's question. I think the flat, is it flat? Is it hilly? And that was, for me, the biggest adjustment was having everything on the app and not having it printed out. They had it printed out the first day, and then it was using the app. But that made it even easier, because then, like, one morning I had drank too much the night before. So one morning I woke up and I had to quickly assess what decision I was going to make. So I went with the late riser tour.
I love the late risers. I mean, and you get breakfast, you can get a late breakfast, and it's always, boiled eggs, danishes, coffee, tea, just something light that you can grab, and fruit. So it's always nice to have. You're never going to go hungry, I promise. But the late risers, I highly recommend it sometimes, because maybe you do have a late night like Shannon did. So.
Yeah. And the app was great about telling you like what the kind of bike ride it was going to be, how many miles, what to expect. So you could just look at the app and get all of that information. And I did sign up for my tours beforehand, but you could have waited until you got on board and made the arrangements. And I did switch multiple times. And I even had a private tour by myself one day because I chose to go with the active walker. And I was really surprised because my guide was the largest out of all of them. So I expected like, okay, if we're going to be the active, he's going to be svelte.
Right.
But yeah, it wound up being just him and I. And what we did is we didn't stop. We walked the whole entire time. Well, we did wind up stopping because we did some other stuff. But it was to be a more engaging, active walk. And I really appreciated that too, as well.
I know. And you added, Shannon, that, some are shorter, 8 miles or less. Some can even bike the Vodka Valley instead of being on board. You could actually bike the Vodka Valley if you were into it. These bike paths are wonderful along the river. Yeah. But to Shannon's point, I actually I went on a gentle walkers tour because I wanted to take pictures. So think about that. If you go with a gentle walkers tour and you really love to take photographs and you really want to get some great photographs, go on the gentle walkers. It's a little bit slower and you get to take photos and not get left behind. So that was my tip for the time. All right, let's see. They're not bad. They bring in local guides each port. Okay, Mike's telling you about the guides. And let's see. Okay, so Helen asks, Budapest sounds like there is so much to see and could take more than 3 days. Honestly, if you really, 3 nights, 4 days, you could see both sides, Buda and Pest. Because remember, you have touring with Ama already built in. So 3 nights will be plenty for you to extend, because there are a lot of things to see and do in Budapest. And you want to experience the nightlife, but also the fabulous dining in Budapest.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, it's a great value. It's one of the, it's one of the few places in Europe where you can really, your dollar will go a little bit farther.
Absolutely. So. And Helen also asked, so when you do the tours, there'll be time to come back to the ship midday. And once you're off the ship, you're off all day. If you're doing a full day tour, like in Salzburg, you have the opportunity to have lunch on your own. And then of course on the bus, and we supply water, we supply everything that you need. When you're doing just a city tour, you can come back to the vessel and have lunch on board if you'd like. My thing is, I love staying out in the destination. I'll come back after lunch, regroup, maybe go out again, or stay in the destination all day and then come back for dinner. I just love being in the destination, which we allow you enough time to do.
Yeah. And the other thing that's really different from an ocean cruise, while you're out in these towns, you may stop into a little wine store and pick up a bottle of wine, or maybe you like to have a particular whiskey every night. And so you stop at the liquor store to get your own bottle of whiskey. You can do that. There are no rules that you have to buy your liquor and wine through AMA. And as Laurie mentioned, these are street prices. They don't charge. There's not a big upcharge. My bill, which I was really shocked by, was $36. And I'm like, I remember I had like 5 or 6 drinks. How is that only $36? And but sure enough, it was, I didn't, for the extra soda, I did drink some soda and I did have some cocktails, but I did, drink some non-alcoholic beverages on board.
They don't kill you with the prices. It's just not, we don't make money on alcohol. It's not a money grab for us.
Yeah. Even the laundry was reasonable. Yes. So you don't have, if you don't want to travel with a big suitcase, you can get your laundry done. And it was, it was $3 for a shirt or something. It wasn't insane.
It was crazy. And then we don't do dry cleaning. It is laundry service. So you can send your laundry out and come back with a perfectly, clean suitcase when you get back. Which is so let's see. So is dinner later in the evening? Our dinner starts between 7 and you can arrive at any time. We ask that you just arrive an hour before we close. Normally it's like 10, 9:30, 10ish. That you'll sometimes earlier, depends on the destination and where we are. You'll have different times, but you don't all have to show up at the same time. So do the rooms have mini refrigerators? Yes, they do. The rooms do have mini refrigerators that you can keep your water cold. We do have bottled water for you in the room. You can have as many as you want. Did you say there's a formal dinner night? We do have the Captain's Gala dinner, yes, and that's normally a little bit more formal, but we're very relaxed. We call it Country Club Casual, and I packed a dress. I packed 3 dresses, and I wore a dress every night. You didn't have to, but at the Captain's, gala, most people will dress up a little bit more, but that may be a dinner jacket for men, not necessarily, just a collared shirt.
Yeah, it's definitely whatever you feel comfortable with. If you don't want to dress up, don't dress up. No one's going to say you can't come in because you're wearing jeans.
Exactly.
So that's what I love about AMA. That's very different from ocean cruising, because when you're dealing with massive amounts of people, you kind of do have to have rules, or you wind up, looking like a junkyard dog.
Comfortable shoes. I would say in October, it may be a little bit cooler. So you need to layer. You need a good all-weather coat, a light all-weather coat where you could maybe put a sweater or a sweatshirt underneath, but rain and wind resistant. That's what you're really looking for. Good shoes. You want to wear comfortable shoes because it could rain. You could have sunshine the entire time, but you want a good, comfortable shoe with good support. Because remember, cobblestones are not even, and they are a little bit uneven. So you want to make sure that you do have the proper shoes. And then some people will, use athletic clothes when they go on their bike excursions, or they're walking. If they're hiking, they'll have a little bit of athleisure, as we call it. But the dress when you're taking the tours is really comfortable and casual. You want to be very comfortable walking, but also dressed comfortably too. So that is it for me. Shannon, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's it. I want to thank everybody for your time and the great questions. The thing I heard the most from people, other than that my wife told me to call you with my credit card, I don't know what we're doing, but so many people didn't know what they signed up for. So I obviously have firsthand experience. I've experienced now 2 river cruises. This will be my 3rd one. I may have a fourth one in between. That's this one and the time we go. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. And Laurie, I really appreciate your support in doing this.
You're welcome. It is my favorite way to travel, not because I work for AMA. We used to ocean cruise, and now I love the concept. Think of it as using the vessel as a floating boutique hotel, getting you from point A to B. And it's a wonderful, lots of time in the destinations.
Yeah. And it's an opportunity. You will, you may be going with friends, but you'll also have the opportunity, because the ship is so small, to meet new friends. And it's just a great way to travel.
It is. And we're going to spoil you to death. You're going to come back and say, okay, where's my meals? Somebody's not waiting on me. What's going on? Right.
Yeah, I love that they got to the point where my waiter knew exactly what I was having every morning for breakfast, which was hot tea with lemon and an Earl Grey tea bag. And so every morning, and I love that he gave me this big chunky thing of hot water, because I like to drink 2 or 3 cups.
Oh my gosh, Shannon, you and I twins, because he would say, Miss Smith, your Earl Grey this morning, please. Yes. And then he would get my eggs for me, because if I was on the late risers, I'd have 2 boiled eggs and a Danish. So he said, you're same? I said, yes. So it's a wonderful experience. I can't wait. You're going to have a great time. And Shannon, thank you for having me. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Okay. So good night. Have a great night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Thank you.